Welcome to ZoomTV, the show where we explore everything that flies, drives and floats and invite you along for the experience. Well, you might be thinking, what am I doing standing among a bunch of planes? Well, we've been invited to Jandakot Airport, about an hour out of Perth, by the guys here at Advanced Cockpit Flight Training to attend their open day.
The concept is really just to get people involved in aviation, expose them to the airport.
Plus, I'll introduce you to the all-new Ford Fiesta thanks to John Hughes Ford. In terms of a driving experience, the Fiesta is, and I hate to say it, a bit like a party. The new Kluger has finally landed. Today, thanks to City Toyota, Alan checks it out.
It's big, it's bold, and it's beautiful.
And our Sander celebrity hitchhiker today is a very special guy. He's one of us, Ross Duncan, rally champion. What was the first car you ever owned?
Morris Minor 1000.
Look, you're straight off the beat. You've been watching the show, I can tell. So strap on the parachute because it's time for ZoomTV. I'm now joined by the Chief Pilot here at the Advanced Cockpit Flight Training Centre, Trent Robinson. How are you, sir?
Good, Aaron, how are you going?
I'm good. Thanks for inviting us up. Now,
pleasure.
What are we actually doing today?
Well, today Advanced Cockpit Flight Training is holding a public open day. The concept is really just to get people involved in aviation, expose them to the airport. No one really knows that Jandakot's here. People haven't heard of it before. Show them what learning to fly is all about and to just show them some great aeroplanes out on display.
Now, I've known you for a few years and I actually used to be a bit scared of flying.
Absolutely.
But you helped me, well, a lot scared of flying, but you helped me overcome that by actually, I suppose, teaching me what flight was about.
Yeah, well, that's one of the benefits we can do on a day like today is do a trial introductory flight. Give them a chance to talk about it, get their hands on the controls and to just go and experience flying on a beautiful day like today and just get a bit more understanding of what's going on. They realise it's actually extremely safe.
Now, it is a beautiful day out there, so I'm hoping that I might be able to nudge you for a flight maybe later.
Pull a few strings, I think we can sort that out for you.
Now, I've seen a lot of nice old planes around, a little bit of history's out there, so days like this is really about letting people experience any form of plane, isn't it?
Well, that's right. We've got our basic training aircraft, just like the one we've got behind us here. New, up-to-date glass cockpit technology. Then we've got some of the older, what we call steam-driven or analogue aircraft, which are still very commonly used. And then you've got the Air Force PC-9 trainer. Basically from the beginning, all different pathways, and of course up into the airlines, which is where some of our graduates will go as well. So we've got a nice cross-section here of old and new.
Okay. Now, some of the courses that you offer here, just talk us through them.
Yeah, well, we'll teach everything from recreational training for private pilot's license right through to the commercial training. So we can get you started. You'll be flying an aircraft all by yourself after about 12 hours of flying, right through the private license to about 50 to 70 hours, and then a commercial license which you need to actually get employed as a pilot, around 150 hours.
Now, you must get told all the time that your job is amazing. You get to just take people out there and teach them how to fly.
Absolutely. It's a very rewarding job to take someone like yourself who starts off just terrified and then get rid of that, and then there you are out there flying all by yourself. There's nothing like that. It's a fantastic feeling.
I don't know if I would have used the word terrified. I was just a little bit cautious.
That's right.
Well, mate, how about you go and see if you can pull some strings and get us up there in the clouds? What do you reckon?
Absolutely.
Now, if you would like to get up in the clouds, make sure you go to acft.com.au or follow the links from ZoomTV. You know, I love coming to events like this because you get to learn and experience a little bit of history. Like this PC-9 was originally used in the early 80s by our Air Force, including the roulettes. Actually, the Air Force still uses this plane to train our pilots. After the break, I'm going to catch up with the all-new Ford Fiesta thanks to John Hughes Ford. That's next on ZoomTV. Parties are a great way to celebrate something. You can have a party to celebrate your birthday, your anniversary, your housewarming even. But what do you do if you're in the mood to celebrate pure driving pleasure? Well, you need to throw yourself a Ford Fiesta Sport. The brand new Ford Fiesta Sport has just become available and, as you'd expect, has taken the concept of hot hatch to the next evolutionary level. In fact, the term hot hatch seems a little old-fashioned these days, and here's why. First of all, the Sport consists of some of the most exciting specs available from the new Fiesta range. I mean, you'd have to agree it looks aggressive, but also very sleek. Take a look at the front, for example. That looks like an Aston Martin. So, you're going to feel like James Bond. The only thing is, you're going to have a bigger boot. John, the new Fiesta's here. I love it. What do you think of it?
Well, first of all, have a look at it, Aaron. Isn't that just a great-looking car?
It is. It's growing up.
Big thing about it is it's got a 1-litre turbocharged motor. Now, not only is it extremely economical, but it produces more power than a 1.5 litre. The motor's that good that for 2 consecutive years it was voted the engine of the year in Europe for 2 consecutive years. How's that? That's pretty special. Now, in automatic transmission, drive away and nothing more to pay. You can buy that car for $23,990. How's that for value?
That is a lot of value. The technology in cars these days is staggering, and the big manufacturers like Ford are leading the charge. And not only in the way their award-winning economical engines work, but in the way each element integrates with another to make today's driving experience something we used to dream of. A few years ago, things like rain-sensing wipers and automatic headlights were, well, a bit of a fantasy. But now in the all-new Sport, you get that and more. You get Bluetooth connectivity, keyless entry, cruise control, all the safety you need and all the comfort you want. In terms of a driving experience, the Fiesta is, and I hate to say it, a bit like a party. It's very enthusiastic and energetic thanks to the turbocharged 1-litre engine. And because of its small size, the handling is sharp and responsive. And you can choose the optional Ford PowerShift automatic transmission like the Fiesta are in today. It gives you the option of being automatic, but then you can select the gear you want to be in like manual mode. And that is a lot of fun. The Fiesta Sport is also one of the safest small cars on the road with a 5-star ANCAP safety rating and a long list of safety features like a whole host of airbags spread throughout the interior, dynamic stability control, ABS and EBD, and a collapsible steering wheel column to protect the driver's legs and feet. The Ford Fiesta Sport is not for everybody, but for those of you interested in an incredibly economical, stylish and spirited driving experience, it's definitely worth your consideration. So if you're sick of boring cars and lethargic drives to work, then maybe it's time to start living things up a little bit with a Fiesta. To find out more, go to johnhughes.com.au or follow the links from ZoomTV.
Just a brief 15-minute drive north of Perth brings us to Wangara Volkswagen. This is the largest Volkswagen dealership north of the river and home to the complete lineup of prestige new and pre-owned Volkswagens, which is why we love coming here. Wangara Volkswagen stock a comprehensive range of new passenger and commercial vehicles, from the compact Volkswagen Polo to the flagship Golf, the Tiguan, Jetta, Passat and top-of-the-line Touareg. You'll also find the award-winning Amarok and the tough and reliable workers like Transporter, Caddy Van and Crafter. As well as pre-owned Volkswagens, they also supply a great mix of used vehicles for every price point. Whether you're after luxury and performance vehicles or a car to fit the family, this is the place for you. Wangara Volkswagen is a proud member of AHG, Australia's largest motoring group. This means that whatever Volkswagen you buy, whether it's new or pre-owned, you'll receive excellent customer service by trained professional staff and a commitment to after-sales care. Your association with Wangara Volkswagen doesn't end when you drive out of the dealership. They remain with you every step of the way to give you assistance should you ever need it. For example, when you buy a pre-owned vehicle from Wangara Volkswagen, you get the benefit of 6 months free roadside assist, 100-point safety check, and a free 3-year AHG extended warranty. What's more, their Volkswagen factory-trained technicians service commercial and passenger Volkswagens, as well as all the other makes and models you can think of. So your Volkswagen will be in good hands while you relax in the customer lounge, where there are newspapers, magazines, Wi-Fi, complimentary tea and coffee. Or, of course, you can arrange for a loan car so you can go about your normal business day. At Wangara Volkswagen, the choice is yours. And it doesn't end there. There's a Volkswagen Finance Business Manager on site to provide quick and easy finance options for personal, business and insurance purposes. They often deliver same-day finance to approved customers. There's also a fleet manager to handle your fleet needs, whether you're after 2 or 20 Volkswagens. He'll tailor a fleet plan that incorporates finance, insurance, servicing and ongoing support to make the whole process easier for you from beginning to end. So it's not just about buying a new car. Once you've made the decision to invest in a Volkswagen, it's about finding the best deal and the best people to look after you, right from the time you meet them until long after you've driven out of the dealership. And at Wangara Volkswagen, that's exactly what you'll get, a quality experience every step of the way. At Wangara Volkswagen, they're all about quality motor cars, the best customer service and great backup. Wangara Volkswagen, 6 Berryman Drive, Wangara. Go to wangaravolkswagen.com.au or follow the links from ZoomTV.
After the break, join me aboard this German-built Aquila, which is one of the training planes used by the Advanced Cockpit Flight Training Centre. I tell you what, I can't wait. If Trent doesn't get here soon, I reckon I can take off by myself. That's up next on ZoomTV.
Okay, Aaron, that's us. So what we're going to do is move out onto the runway. You can grab onto the control column now. Okay, right hand on the throttle.
Yep.
Left hand on the control column.
Where?
Swap hands, right hand there.
There, yep.
That's it. Nice and smooth all the way forward.
Okay, let's go.
Yep, you're flying. There we go.
Okay, let's punch it.
Yep.
Woo!
Wow.
Am I all the way up?
Yep, you're all the way.
We're all the way up,
Speed's
Captain.
good. Airspeed's increasing. Power's good. We're
Okay.
safe to take off. Just gently ease back on the nose.
Oh.
There we go. You're airborne.
Oh, that was me.
Fantastic.
I did that. Okay. So as we're going up, I can actually feel the different currents of wind as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of slightly different parcels of air. There's slightly different air pressure, and that's what we experience as turbulence. Look at that beautiful view of the city and the river.
Oh, that is spectacular. I can tell you, this is a surreal feeling, actually flying in a plane.
All right, now what we can do is use the trim, and that's going to hold the elevator at the back of the aircraft, just to take that load, and then you won't need to fly it very much at all.
Now, like most people at home, they would, obviously when you fly all the time with commercial jets like I do, a little bumps like this are something you wouldn't really feel, but you really...
You find them a little bit more, but yeah, you certainly have a lot more sensation in these aircraft. That's why they're called light aircraft. They're not as heavy, so you do feel a little bit, but you soon come to understand what's going on. Okay, Aaron, all right, see the runway? So we're going to come around on to final. Look at that turn. Runway straight ahead. See how quick it is to pick up?
Yep.
All right, it's going to take a bit of that load off the stick. That's the trim at the back there for us.
Now, if people want to get involved, Trenton's as easy as all they do is they log on to the net, I suppose, fill in a form, come out and have a play.
That's right, yep. Just contact us on the website and you can grab all the information you need just to get going, and then we're more than happy to get you to come in and have a chat and take you up just like this and get your journey started.
Well, there you go. All you've got to do is go to acft.com.au and you can start flying tomorrow, as quick as that, I think.
All right, let's land this thing.
I'm landed it, mate. It's going to be... And touchdown, how was that, Captain?
10 out of 10, mate. Well done.
That was pretty good.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
It's big, it's bold, and it's beautiful. It's Toyota's flagship Kluger, and it's had a complete makeover for 2014. Compared with the previous model, it's larger, it's better, and it's even cheaper. The new model Kluger has had a thorough overhaul. 7 seats are now standard. There are many improvements to the utility of the Kluger's interior, and these have been added without sacrificing comfort. There are more soft-touch surfaces, and the wide shelf that spans the lower dashboard is trimmed in soft plastic that stops your phones and other gadgets from sliding around. The shelf also sports a pass-through for iPod and phone charging cables. The center console is huge. The front seats are wide and comfortable, and the second and third rows are the same. Big doors make it easy to get in and out of, and an adult can happily and comfortably be accommodated in the center seat. There have been a lot of changes to Kluger this time around. It's a slightly bigger car when compared to its predecessor, and it has a bold new look. About the only thing that Toyota hasn't changed is the engine, and that's a good thing, because the 3.5-litre V6 petrol engine was so good, so successful, Toyota left it alone. It wasn't broke, so they didn't fix it. There is, however, a new gearbox. The 6-speed automatic replaces the 5-speed of the outgoing model. It's smooth through the gears and doesn't hunt through the range when negotiating hills. But no matter what terrain Kluger takes you through, you won't hear much of engine, wind or road noise. And that's because there's now 30% more sound deadening material on the floor, as well as an acoustic windscreen and revised engine mounts. One of the first things you'll notice is that the cabin remains blissfully quiet at speed. 2014 Kluger has received a whole new suspension system, which gives us great stability, especially for those passengers in the rear. And it also gives us excellent on-road comfort. A big part of Kluger's appeal is space. New Kluger is 80 millimetres longer and 15 millimetres wider than before. As a result, the luggage area has swelled thanks to an increase in rear overhang and the relocation of the seat mountings further forward. With the third row in place, there's 195 litres of cargo space, roughly 1/3 more than before. Third row down, the Kluger offers 529 litres. And with both second and third rows folded flat, there's 1,171 litres. The 2014 Toyota Kluger is a vastly improved and refined car when you compare it with its predecessor. Comfortable, quiet and packed with quality features. This car is so new it hasn't been rated by ANCAP as yet, but because it's a Toyota, it's expected to get the maximum 5 stars. Test drive all new Kluger at City Toyota, Newcastle Street, Northbridge or Stirling Highway, Netherlands. Go to citytoyota.net.au or follow the links from ZoomTV.
This plane is a Diamond DA40. It's used by the Advanced Cockpit Flight Training Centre to teach you cross-country navigation and instrument training. After the break, we catch up with a champion cross-country driver, Ross Duncan. He's our Sanders celebrity hitchhiker, next on ZoomTV. Big Ross Duncan, and how are you, mate?
Aaron, how you going?
I'm good, I'm good. Now, we know each other, obviously you work on the show, but I wanted to get you on as a celebrity hitchhiker because as I've got to know you, you've had an amazing life.
I have, yes.
You've done some incredible things. How about you, you share some of the stories with the viewers at home?
Well, I think it's all in here, Aaron.
Straight in with the plug, look at you.
In here.
Straight in with the plug. There you go, the big Dunco. Now, what kind of stories will they find in the book, Ross?
Well, of course, my history has been motorsport and rallying, and that's in the forest, of course. I've done a bit of tarmac stuff, but it's a book that covers a wide range of stuff, like the 10 years or so that I've spent in the cray industry, time that I've spent in the television industry. I go into a little bit of in-depth on Peter Brock's death, because I was actually involved in that event where Peter got killed. Oh. In fact, I actually won the event after Peter met his demise, which is very sad because, you know, I think if Peter had been still with us, he probably would have won the event. But I go into the in-depth details on what actually happened and why I thought he did have that accident. Everybody that's read it so far have said, what a great read. A lot of people have said they start it and can't put it down. And most people say when they read it in the toilet.
It's another Dunco secret. Awesome. So now you've got to answer the Asanda Fast 5. Are you ready for that? Ooh. Okay. What was the first car you ever owned?
Morris Minor 1000.
Look, straight off the beat, you've been watching the show, I can tell. Now, Ross, in your opinion, what is the best car currently available on the road today?
Well, that's very, very hard because I road test lots of cars on Zoom, and you know, every car has different qualities, but there are so many good cars nowadays. It's sort of it's really hard to pick it, really.
This is where we will lose someone. What is your opinion of the worst car ever made?
Trabant.
Trabant? I haven't heard of that.
Trabant, yes.
Okay, now what car do you currently drive? Here's the plug, Ross.
Well, I drive a Triton dual cab with the latest spec turbo engine, the 2.4, and goes like a rocket.
Now the final question is, what is your biggest fear?
Competing in a rally, and especially on tarmac, when you actually get to that stage where you're actually going into a corner and you know you've sort of got Jim Richards there and you've got to, you know, you're right on the limit, and to go into a corner and hold the line knowing that all you've got is a bit of rubber on the tarmac, and the time it goes away and breaks away on tarmac, you'll never catch it. But if it was a gravel car, you go into a corner and the car is continuously sliding, so you can actually control it with your throttle, and to me, gravel is a lot safer than tarmac. Most people would say you're crazy, but that's me.
I would have thought it would have been me when we raced that time in Melbourne. That's okay.
That was terrifying.
No, it was. Say goodbye, Roscoe.
Bye-bye.
There you go, Celebrity Hitchhiker. Thanks for watching.
Let's land this thing.
I'm landing it, mate. It's going to be... And touchdown, how was that, Captain?
10 out of 10, mate. Well done.
That was pretty good.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. It's been a fun show. Thanks for watching. Now, if you want to know more about today's show, get your pilot's license or follow up any of the stories we had on, make sure you go to zoomtv.com.au. Now, if you've got an event coming up, like we've attended today, or one with cars, bikes, whatever Zooms, we could come along. All you've got to do is go to our website, click on the events page, tell us about it. We'll give it a plug. And as I said, we might even come along and hang out with you for a while. Until next week, whatever you do that zooms, even stuff that flies, make sure you do it safe. Hey, what, mate? I wouldn't mind going up again.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
And that's a wrap.